Now former Boston College head coach Jeff Hawley, your Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator. You see this one coming?
I did not see this.
I don't think anybody did.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
We're talking to all these other NFL assistants, up-and-comers, and, guys that have been on good defensive staffs. Interviewed a bunch of guys, including former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley. But he turns to Jeff Hawley, a guy that LaFleur doesn't have a relationship with, but a lot of guys Matt knows has a relationship with this guy. Talked about his coaching career at Boston College, kind of just built that program up. Never a huge ACC title contending team, but solid nonetheless. Isaiah McDuffie played for him for his first season in Boston College, which was Isaiah's last before he joined the Packers. And on that Ohio State team, wow. I mean, that was a really good club. But then again, they had Chase Young. They had Jeff Okudah on that defense, a couple of number one draft choices, top 5, top 10, almost every statistical category. But it was his 7 years in the NFL where he kind of worked his way with some connections. I mentioned his last 3 years in the NFL, I think 2015 through 18.
2016, 2018.
16, 18, with the 49ers. Robert Saleh, Matt's best man at his wedding, his bestie, was the defensive coordinator, now the head coach of the Jets. But Adam Stenavich, Pack's OC, was an assistant O-line coach on the Niners then. Matt Malaspina, the Packers director of college scouting, was a scout with the 49ers. So I'm sure Matt leaned on those three guys very heavily to get some lowdown on Mr. Hawley. Spent a couple of years in Cleveland with Mike Pettin as the head coach.
Who was with Green Bay and LaFleur.
DC. That was his first DC. Ryan Downer, the Packers safety coach, was also on that Brown staff. So you can see, this is a fraternity. Everybody knows everybody in the college ranks, so I'm sure he leaned on all of these guys and got pretty good insight into what Hawley is all about.
Yeah, and his first NFL gig was with the Buccaneers. He was under head coach Greg Schiano at the time, so he's been in multiple defensive systems along the way as well. Now, it's interesting. LaFleur, Saleh, besties, but when A.J. Dillon was drafted back in 2020, he played for Boston College.
Right.
There was an article in the Boston Globe that also referred to Matt LaFleur as Hawley's friend. So maybe there is more of a close relationship with those guys.
I'm sure they've crossed paths and have got to know each other and things like that. I think Matt's brother, Mike, also crossed paths with Hawley at one point, too. So, like I said, there's connections all over the place, and he leaned on those to make his choice.
In interviews, Hawley has said he's been in a bunch of different defensive systems. He said he wished he'd been in one for multiple years to really learn it, but now he's got pieces from all these different styles that he can kind of mold into his own, and he said he'll also lean on player input. What they feel the most comfortable doing is the positions he wants to put guys into.
I did see one note where he is a big fan of, on the perimeter at least, a lot of press coverage, a lot of aggression, creative blitz packages, things like that. And that got everybody all excited because everyone seemed to think that Joe Barry was a bit on the conservative side, playing soft coverages and things like that.
And now we'll see, was there going to be any other defensive assistant shakeups or anything like that, or you kind of keep the guys in place and just put Hawley at the head of it?
I'm not sure if Hawley's got his eye on some guys that he really wants to work with. I'm sure Matt's going to be amenable to that. They just brought in Greg Williams to be the secondary coach to replace Jerry Gray. I like what he did with a lot of those young kids back there. Whether or not Jerry Montgomery, who's been here since the McCarthy days, sticks around on the D-line, or some of the others like Kirk Olivadotti or Jason Rebrovich stick around, remains to be seen.
Packers defense last year, 10th in scoring defense, 17th total defense.
It wasn't a disaster. Okay?
28th against the run.
Well,
so,
all right, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's up that a little bit.
I know, but that was they've had decent games against the run, but they had just too many really bad days against the run. 4 games of 200+, and that'll skew the average for sure. But, hey.
And third down defense was a struggle, too.
Yeah, it was a struggle. Again, because a lot of off coverage.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 7, what are you doing playing 10 yards off? That got everybody all wild up.
All right, welcome to Green Bay, Jeff Hawley.
Yeah, married, couple of kids, just 44 years of age, kind of in that same, mix of LaFleur and his crew, so we'll see how it works out. This is an important hire, though. It better work out.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
This is 3 DCs in 6 years now.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.